welcome to episode 26 of Let's Talk Tactics, the first episode of the post-anniversary celebration. I am your host, Zach Bro.
I am Daniel Boone.
And I'm Locke.
Yeah, you guys had no idea I was going to say that. So, man, there's like so much to talk about that. Actually, I guess we'll start off by saying thank you for anybody who tuned in to the anniversary live stream on Dr. Diggs' channel. Thank you very much to him for having us. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did watch it, it was obviously we had a half-hour window, so we couldn't really get into super detail, but that's what we're here for today. Kind of backpedal a bit, well, not backpedal, but go back to what we said on that live cast, sort of elaborate on all of our thoughts, and also just talk moving forward about class match since we haven't really done that yet. And yeah, kind of just catch up until now. So maybe it'll go really long today. Maybe it won't. We don't know. We'll see. So yeah, where do you guys want to start with this? I feel like just going right into class match will kind of lead us to talking about Yuna and all of the things. So
I was gonna say, like, I don't even remember what we talked about on the anniversary stream.
Yeah, I mean, we talked kind of like
So fast.
generally our outlook moving forward of EX units and their impact and how we think things might change with Yuna. But yeah, honestly, it was such a blur. It was like just lightning speed going through. So yeah, I mean, so I guess to catch everybody up, we all have Tidus, obviously. Do we all have Yuna? Locke, you don't have Yuna.
I have Yuna.
You do. Okay. Have you guys both 120'd her?
Yes.
Okay, I have not yet. She's at like 107, I think. I have like 100 and something shards like waiting to be used. I just got to get some. I'm waiting for tomorrow to just like hardcore farm pink orbs again.
Yeah, I was I was kind of like hesitating at first to like try to max her like ASAP, like really rush her, and then like a couple of people, like a long time in particular, they were like they're rushing her, like getting up the resonance on like Bahamut if they got her the Dragon King, just like to be to have them ready for class match. They were wiser than I was because I didn't have Yuna ready until like the second day of class match or whatever. And yeah, she was such a big deal this time around that like I should have anticipated that. And thankfully I wisened up. I was like, all right, you guys are probably onto something. And
onto something, of course. What? Yeah. The first like really high level EX 120 thing that's just like got this ridiculous amount of health with all the vision card support.
Of course. Sure. But I rushed her.
And those Aeon bonds just procking left and right and every single time, and tilted so hard on stream like 2 different times. It's just so ridiculous. So stupid. Like I was building up chain, like hitting her for like 6k because of course she has more than 6k health, and she's like 7.9 heal. I'm like, all right, dope. Like so silly.
You do at that point.
Yeah, even with like maiming slash, she still heals for like 4k, and I'm like, okay, yeah. Like I thought that would be like that would be one way to fight her, and I'm like, yeah, this is not working.
Well, that's like Brian fought Daniel twice. Once because I watched it, but the first time he had mentioned to me, he's like, yeah, it's like it was really pissing me off. He's like, yeah, I think. Oh, I guess I don't know if Brian used Yuna eventually in the class match, but he's doing the light team with El Sorel, El Shara, and Sakura, I think. But he's like, yeah, man, I had it healing down after maiming slash on her, and she still healed for like 3.5k. He's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm like, yeah. Well, first of all, you could use her yourself. You already have her 120. But yeah, she's a monster, and I think just sort of being honest about things, yeah, she's a little broken right now. There's just such an overwhelming amount of support for the element at this time. Plus, she's like the main 120 right now. Like a lot of other ones, like I saw Montala in the class match, which was really cool. And actually, it's kind of terrifying sometimes. And I know Che was using him and was like, Mont's winning me games. I'm like, that's cool. But yeah, like if you look at the rest of them, like Stern Leonis is all right. Elda is all right. Rob is very good, but he's also light. So he could fit. I saw a team with Rob, Yuna, and I forget what the third unit was. It might not even been light, but the team was pretty interestingly cohesive. And I also saw Liarta. That was cool. I think it was, I don't remember, was it Fino? No, who was it? We spectated them on stream, but they were using Frederica, Nivlu, and Liarta got like a full life on Fred, and he came back and won the game, and it was so insane. But and my point is, besides like maybe Titus, Yuna's by far the strongest 120 unit and gets to take advantage of all these bonuses. So I think it's really skewed and it's really shitty they gave us the class match the first week of the anniversary update. But yeah,
what are we gonna do? You know,
I think moving forward, especially with like Ziza just got hers, and I guess she's pretty good. I'm gonna have you talk about that a little bit, Daniel. And also some more units that are coming out in the future should help balance the field out. I hope. But anyway, before we go too much into Yuna, I want to touch on Titus a bit before we kind of forget. I'm gonna say Titus because I'm sorry, it's just the name I know. It's gonna be way more fluid. Locke, you used Titus the whole time, right, in class match, or did you end up switching your team at all?
I think I started on the third day because before that, I mean, he was not he wasn't even level 99, right? So the first 2 days, it was just El Sorel.
For shame. He wasn't maxed on the first day.
No. It was what El Sorel and who were the other two I used? I used Sakura and Halloween Leela. That was the team I started with. And then
animal. Oh my gosh. The Halloween Leela Sakura plus 80 cost unit teams are just so absurd. I hate it so much.
I'm not gonna lie, I started with that. I just threw that team together. I didn't have anything ready.
You don't have to have anything ready. You
just put them on.
It just works. Like, it's so dumb. So frustrating. I used actually a bunch of those select tickets. My Sakura's max now, so I'm working on her.
But I'm actually not very comfortable with that team, and I made like so many mistakes because I don't play a team like that. I usually just play like full offensive, right? So like I think the very first match I mispositioned my Halloween Leela and she got one shot by like a Nivlu from my opponent, and that was the very first match. And I'm like, yeah, I need more practice with this, right? And it's also like even if you practice on like the actual match battle map, it's totally different. Like figuring out the positions for this map,
right? It's
height differences and so on. But anyway, the first 2 days, and then I think I switched them out to use a quickener. So I think I was using like El Sorel and Halloween Leela, and who else did I use? I think I used like Shell or something. Something like that. But it wasn't really working out. And by that time, I got Titus at level 120 by I think the third day. So I switched to using Titus, and then I found out why Titus was not so good in this map because he has height 1 skills, which is like, it's very hard because a lot of things are height 2, and especially the Rangers, they can keep hitting him from height 2. Like he got all the way across, and he couldn't hit anything, and then by that time he died. So I was like, okay, this is not working.
So they stood on like the steps in certain places. Could you just not hit them because you just couldn't get on the same level as them in any
exactly
like good range? That's insane. Oh man.
Yeah, because like because on Paladin sub I was within 5 spaces to use Taunting Blade, but Taunting Blade's height range does not reach it. So even still, like I couldn't hit it. So I was like, and I think at the time I was using El Sorel, Titus, and Shell. So I was just using one quickener, and I was trying to use like Keen Blade on El Sorel, but still, like it was just very, very hard to pull off. And
wait, who held Keen Blade?
El Sorel.
Oh, El Sorel. I keep like in my brain, I'm seeing Elshra, but like I know you're saying El Sorel. I'm like, how are they holding Keen Blade? Okay, sorry.
No worries. So yeah, and so eventually I switched to using a double quickener with Nivlu, Shell, and Titus. And again, I think the main fear for me was that I would get 1 shot or 2 shot or like whatever by Ranger teams. So I went full defensive with shields. So I had Marshari's TMR on one of them, and I had Yuna's TMR on the other. So that's a stackable shield. Like I've gotten like Sonic Winged by Yuna with Bahamut for like less than 1k damage. So and I'm assuming he used that instead of his LB because like it wouldn't have killed him or done like anything significant. So I like might as well at least like bring the CT down or something, right? And then he moved over to use it on Devlu, and it was the same thing. It was like it did 1.8k damage because Yuna got
Mashri TMR plus Shell is a hell of a drug. I mean that's
plus Yuna, plus Yuna's TMR, not Shell's TMR. Marshri plus Yuna. You said Marshri plus Shell.
I said no plus the effect Shell.
Oh, the effect Shell.
Sorry, the Shell. The because Yuna's gives protect and Shell, right? Plus the heal. So the combination of those two things, and if you just add like zombie TMR on top of that, that's like they're gonna be the trifecta of have fun dealing with me TMRs. Like it's so insane, so very good. Like there are other TMRs that give protect and Shell, but it's like to self or something, or like it's not an AOE and a heal attached. It's a pretty crazy TMR. I'll be very curious to see if its impact in other places as well, like on other maps. I mean, to see if it continues to be used like this, but I can't imagine it going anywhere. I mean, Mastery TMR is still great, and like
Yeah.
Protect and Shell have always been great, but the part of the like detriment of Protect and Shell are I think White Mage main jobs need to sub job White Mage to use it, right?
Yeah,
So
they do. Yeah.
units like Ayaka, people want on Time Mage, or I can't. Well, I guess maybe that's the only White Mage example, but other ones like Halloween Leela, yeah, you can use it, but on certain maps you can't afford to because there's either cast time in your evade team, or you can't get it off before you're getting hit. And you need to have zombie up or something. So like you don't get to actually do Protect and Shell to handle most teams. And the fact that this is just a one-click button, all 3 people have it, it's crazy. And then
And a heal.
yeah, right. And then if you have Titus on the same team, haste for everybody. Like, I like now you got to figure out how to walk your units to like give everybody the bonuses because you know they have to all be in that little like elbow shape. But yeah, it's nutty. That's awesome.
Yeah, and at that point, I mean, I got my strategy mostly done, but I still made some mistakes here and there. So I would lose to like mispositioning errors. But the one match that I lost, I think, where like I was totally outplayed was your guildmate actually. What's his name? Shay.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I lost to Shay, yeah, and he had like such a high HP team with Mont, with Yuna and Elsra, not Elsra, Elsariel. Elsariel, that's the one. I keep getting them confused too. Now you messed me up. Anyway.
Oh, my fault. Okay.
Which one has green hair?
Yeah, right. It's what, green hair? What's the other one? Pink hair? Or no, purple?
The other one's purple.
Purple, right?
Purpley blue, I think. But
Purpley blue rail.
the one of the reasons why I had a lot of trouble with that team was because like Titus didn't have his card out yet, right? And I couldn't like one shot anything. And if I tried to hit it, I had to like multiple times hit it. So I had to use like both Quickens and Titus to take down like one tank with the re-raise, right? And once I did that, I was killed by like Yuna and Mont with this like freaking boulder throw. So
I'm so
freaking
glad
boulder
that
throw.
it's stuck. Like I feel like I coined boulder throw, and it's just like it's spread.
But what happened? So I afterwards, like the last 2 days of CM, I got his card. The second last day of CM, because CM was for some reason extended by an
Oh
extra
yeah,
day.
I forgot. We should probably talk about that real quick. What the fuck was that? Like, where did that come from? Who made the decision? Was it a glitch and they just haven't said anything about it? They're like, we'll let it happen. Like,
One word.
Spaghetti.
Intern cun.
Oh, I thought you said intern. Is it intern coon?
Yeah,
I thought you said something else. I was like, what? I thought Daniel went the dark words route just now. Sorry.
That's right. What was that? Oh yeah, so
Yeah, so
because I
weird.
got the card and I hadn't maxed it yet, but I had it on Awaken 3, I faced Shay again, and this time I was able to one-shot his Yuna with my Titus. And it did like something like 6.7k damage or something like that.
Barely
with
enough.
his just barely
Yeah,
enough.
right. Like
So-
actually though.
It's very lucky. And the bad thing is, I don't know how much damage Titus does with any of his skills because he has a huge crit multiplier. So it shows me like I would do like 5.7k, and I'm like, is it enough? I have no idea. Oh, it is. It's 6.7. Great.
Surprise.
Like, I don't know.
Oh, because that's a non-crit number, right?
Yeah, it's a non-crit number, and he has very high crit and like crit damage multipliers everywhere. So
Well, it should show the crit if it's like a guarantee crit,
If it's a guarantee, right?
yeah,
Like
so
sneak attack.
So it's interesting how like he despite his really high crit, like you described it still shows the normal damage.
I wish it would show like if this crits.
Yeah,
is what it would
exactly.
do. That'd
That'd
be
be nice.
like a little like maybe a smaller number like down and like shifted over or something.
yeah, that would be great. But yeah, like right now, I'm just like living by faith, I guess.
How high is his faith?
50.
50, yeah. So much more faith to be had. No, I actually found a lot of the recent units I've been on like 50 or 30, which is interesting because I've for so long I was just like 97 everything. I need the status effects. I need it's a lot of magic units, but now because I have most of the roster, I have a lot more variance in my faith values now. There's some like I'm like, man, I really wish I could hit that stun, but I also really don't like taking full damage from magic when I'm not. There's no other reason to. Like obviously the full life chances being lower sucks, but gotta balance it out a little bit.
Yeah.
97 is even 97 anyway. It's all a lie.
And then yeah, I think that was it. And then the last day, I was able to max out the card, and I one shot everyone. Like I couldn't. There wasn't anyone that I couldn't one shot with Titus with the setup that I was using. But I didn't really fight anybody that was like super tanky. I mean, I didn't fight any egg races, which would probably be the tankiest one of the tankiest units I can think of. But I also have Nivlu, which has remove barrier if anyone's using barriers, right? So that probably
Right.
helps a lot as well.
Actually, a really nice combo, yeah. Got the alley oop from the Nivlu. Now, damn it.
I have a question while Prodigy thinks of that.
Sure, yeah, you do that.
Sure.
What would you say your counters would be for anyone like facing like a Cheetahs team like yours?
Well, so like typically when when people are playing Rangers, they don't have any defense up for some reason. Like I've never fought uh, any gunners that use shields for some reason. They always just went full offensive and tried to take my team down, and like didn't succeed because I have all these shields up, right? So my Titus can now, with like the fully maxed out card and everything, can one shot their Rangers. But if you had a shield up, I can't do that. And if you have a shield up, then I have to take like my Nivlu will has to take that shield down, so I can't double quicken anymore. So I don't have any way of healing because I already used my shields. So if you like, if you play that game where you have your shields up, you're still attacking me, but you have room, you won't be getting one shot, and you can back away and play that game. Then you can take me down with that. So you're basically kiting me, and I am limited in my range basically because I will only be able to do one quicken because the other quickener has to be doing barrier breaks, and so I made in one game I made a mistake where I moved my Titus after shield and after protect. I moved him to a spot where his Frederica could 2 times double shot me, and he died. Right, because that's 4 hits, and that removes the shield, and that fourth hit, I went with the protect. It did like I think 3.5k or something. So
Oof.
that killed me.
Two
So
damages.
yeah, so removing that shield is also one way of going through. The problem is a lot of people are playing Frederica as their main DPS. So Nivlu would be quickening that Frederica. If Nivlu instead used barrier break and then Frederica attack with sharpshoot, I don't know if that's enough to kill me. Like it might be, but for sure it would do like a ton of damage. Right now I'm only taking like say 3k damage with like Frederica going twice at max. So that's those are counters. And I've never faced a double quicken Garvel because I was always assuming that would probably go through if if I had to fight that. But thankfully I didn't fight that yet, so we'll see.
So
Because yeah.
I was gonna say, what was your actual build on Titus for like Esper card, etc.? Obviously, his card eventually was better, but did you use like Leviathan? Did you use Odin? Like, what was your choice for Esper?
So for Esper, I started with Odin, but I switched to Leviathan because I wanted to put Odin on Niblu to make her faster.
Makes sense.
So that's why I used Leviathan on Titus for Esper, and for VC I started with Aegon. How do you say it?
Yeah.
Aegon, yeah. So I started with him, and the other two VCs in the team were the Irresistible Darkness and what's it called? The Ildira's TMR, not TMR. Ildira's VC that gives you 20%
Winter Holiday Party.
Winter Holiday Party. That's the one.
Okay.
Because again, I was terrified of like my team getting like AOE down in like turn 1. So that was my main fear. If I survived that, I have like a 3-turn with Titus with 2 quickens, right? That was what I was going for. And then once I was able to get his card, I switched the Aeog. I put his card on him
instead of a guy.
Stupid card.
So instead of the Gundam, yeah.
So
the Gundam.
so I guess you could say bruisers would still kind of counter your double quicken team as we would usually expect them to. Mirror double quickens. If only we had like a lightning tank on the horizon.
Well,
we have Revius.
Charlotte's. Yeah. So yeah,
I know.
So Charlotte's coming out in JP soon.
Oh, we're getting one earlier than that. We're getting 9S. It's a free one too.
It's a tank,
9S.
Right?
Just
it's
kidding.
a tank.
Oh,
Nice.
So there you go.
Yo, yeah, that. Have you read Charlotte's abilities? Like
some of them, yeah.
Where is it? Oh yeah, with the EX upgrade. for 22 TP, 100. Sorry, that's 100% chance. 20 defense, 20 spirit, protect, shell, and regen. All right, Paladin, let's go. Like,
Ta-da!
and I think there was something I saw. It stacks or something.
Yeah, with her X, I think she can stack it or something. I don't know. I can't recall.
Because it goes for 3 turns. So yeah, you could do a second time, and then what? You're gonna have 40 defense, 40 spirit, basically sentinel plus protect, shell, and regen. Like, what? That's insane.
Let's get to that hill when we get there.
Although her level 25 ability, I think, is garbage though. It increases all attack resistances by 8%. Like, it's all right, but that's your 20 EX 25 ability. Like, I feel like that could have just been like something in her like level 7 main job or something, or in her sub job. Like, 8's all right, but it's so spread. Like, you have to be against a team that has a lot of damage types, like really make use of it. Otherwise, like, why not use like an El Sorel buff for like plus whatever is it, like 15 to Pearson missile, right? For her, for El Sorel, or is it 20?
25.
It's 25. Okay.
Mhm.
Even better. So that's like super impactful, but like this 8%, it's like, I don't know. I feel like I've seen people moving away from using even the 8% passive like armors. Like, if you don't have a 10, people are like, and honestly 2% is not that much difference. Just use the 8, but like in favor of using other accessories and other accuracy effects, things like that. So kind of an underwhelming EX25. Anyway, not to get too future based because we have a lot to talk about now, but
where did you end up, Locke? And like
So I ended up,
score?
I think, at rank 103, and I was like totally fine with that because I was trying really hard to play like the bruiser type thing. That's what I started with, and eventually once I got Titus, I was like, okay, I really want to figure out how to make him work. So that was my whole point to the CM, and I think I lost a lot. I think I lost like 12 times. Like last CM, I ended up rank 19. So this time, it was, like at some point, I was like rank 250. And then the last 2 days, when I finally figured out a strategy, I won a lot, and so climbed from like 250 all the way to 103. And I was happy with that.
Very familiar to my experience.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal, and that's a good thing to know. Like, don't get discouraged, you guys, if it takes you like halfway through to hit your stride, because you can still take long strides like towards the end, if it's a big enough one.
Yeah, so I guess for me, I used all kinds of stuff. The first like 3 or 4 days, like I was all over the place. My first team was like Halloween Leela, Shell, and something else, but like that felt weird, so like I immediately switched it to trying to use like Double Quick and Kane. Man, I don't know how people use Double Quick and Kane. I could not get his damage to be like respectable whatsoever, and I thought I had like all this damage stuff on him. I got the Demon Wall card. I guess I could have put on like Diablos or something to do more damage, but
Black Rose Helena for the accuracy.
Yeah, the accuracy on that too was kind of cool. Noticeable too. Like I think an evade buffed wasn't Venera. I don't think, like maybe like even a Shadow Link. So it was like 100% to it. It was like cool because I think I put an Alex ring on him as well. So it's just all the accuracy in the world. Then also I didn't like him very much. That went to Glaciella. That actually worked out for a little bit. I think I could have done better with the setup for her. I eventually found out like a better spawning position to be able to get to the other side faster. And when I say double quicken too, I was doing a turn 1 double quicken, so triple turn on the start. And if that didn't work, I had to just adapt from there. But then I remember, I think Daniel, you might have said it in the stream. Somebody else too, like, well, why aren't you using Frederica? I'm like, well, I don't want to be 1 damage type and be weak to that if I come up against, like, my first 2 days, there was a lot of El Sorel teams, and they used the, like, Pearson missile buff, which worked for my Kane and Glaciella teams, but also just happened to be, like, sort of a deterrent for me to use a missile unit as my primary, like, damage type, or damage unit, and so I kind of avoided that for a while, but then I tried Winter Victora for a bit, somewhere in there as well, quickening her around, and then that felt weird too. So I was just all over the place. I think the team right before I got to double quick and Frederica was Winter Venera plus Shell, and do you remember who the other unit was from the stream? Oh my gosh, I can't remember who it was.
Not off.
It might have actually just been Nivlu. It might have been double quick.
Yeah, it was Nivlu.
Yeah, it was just, so most of my teams were just Nivlu, Shell plus Target. Like, it's just such a good shell of a team. Shell of a team. Um, Winter Venera was actually surprising. Her damage was pretty amazing. Even given like being a strike unit, especially Earth, it's not a lot of damage options for that unless you're putting on like the Odin VC for the 10 man eater or the like Secrets of the Heart even for the 10 Earth. There's just not a lot of options without using like Marlboro, and sorry, but not good enough for the slot. Or maybe I guess it would be if I put her over the edge and damage, but I had to rely on like surviving for like 2 turn cycles to then like demon purger people off the map. But like that's not a good place to be. It won some games, but it was definitely, I think, had I built more of an overall bruisery team, it might have been better. And just like really take that route and just grind people out with a little bit of healing here or there. Oh, it's Halloween Leela actually. That's what it was. Halloween Leela, Shell, and Winter Venera. Because I remember I was able to heal and I was using like zombie and stuff on Halloween Leela, protected Shell on Venera and sending her in. So that was cool. But yeah, then I went the dark side and took Nivlu, Shell, and Frederica, and then just had a great time. um, there, there were very few. I think once I switched to that, I might have lost 4 times in like 5 days or something. Like it was silly how strong that team is. Even teams with like missile resistance, like Victoras, just it's hard to survive like 2 to 3 barrages. Like it's just insane. And the way it was set up too, it just happened to work out where I could do so Shell Quick and Fred, Nivlu Quick and Fred. Fred takes a turn, moves up, and I could actually missile buff because I take the crystal. And then I could barrage and run to the other crystal, and so I never needed bells. So I actually put bells on Nivlu for the last like 2 days, I think, because they both had the 7 agility TMR, so I just swapped them. Um, so that was incredible. And then Nivlu turn 2, or the second turn cycle, gets to go Shell cast on her, Nivlu move, Nivlu immediately take a turn, and no one ever was in between those either. So it was like wherever they were when Nivlu's turn or Shell's turn started, that's I could hit Nivlu wherever or with Nivlu anywhere on the map. So I could do target buff or whatever, and that it was a pretty amazing team. Daniel, I know you were getting tilted a little bit here and there against that team. Talk about like why that was an issue for your team, because I know you're using a very strong one. Obviously, you were doing light team with Yuna, so
Yeah,
why do you
so
think it was such a poor matchup for you?
well, before I want to preface that with a question, like how many of those double quicken gunner teams, range teams did you guys run into? Would you like be able to estimate?
Um, between 4 and 10, I can't remember honestly,
I
but
mean, yeah, I mean, we had like 45 matches like total, so it's really hard to tell exactly, but
and man, when they were slower than me, like if
yeah.
they had Chocobo or non-maxed like Helen or Scion, it was just game over. It was so silly.
What about you, Luck?
I think I ran into like at least 10 of those teams. Yeah, it was
Wow.
a lot,
Yeah. I
especially on the
feel
first 2 days. Yeah.
I feel dumb then because so I like Luck like you said you started with Halloween Little Leela and Sakura and X, right?
Mhm.
I started with that. God, I can't even remember who my ex was.
Was it not Yuna?
I didn't start with the Yuna, no. It was
Okay,
Halloween Little Leela, Sakura,
Elsera?
and no, maybe no. It was a mage team. It was Garvel. Um,
Oh, sure,
so
sure.
and I didn't have a bad time. I went like 9-1 over the first 2 days, and like um the only team that beat me was Bodega's. He had a Yuna Sakura Halloween Leela versus my Garvel Sakura Halloween Leela. You can expect how that went. I was like, all right, I'm expecting to run into a lot of light magic teams like this kind of setup. So after losing to Bodega, with like I refused to get a draw, like to force a draw. So I was just like, you know what? I screwed up my timing. I didn't succeed with getting my unit to go last, so I'm just going to give him the win. Well, I don't want to say give him the win, but like, um, I guess there's not really a better way to say it. But so after that, I was like, okay, so back to the brainstorming room, the thinking room, and so
The think tank.
that's when I brought out El um, and things started to go my way. Uh, and then I was like, well, I have Yuna ready. So I ended up with Elshra, El Sorel, and Yuna for my team. And just kind of, I'm not going to say I breezed through it, but I had a lot of 5-0 days and 4-1 days. So I have to honestly say that my team was not really that remarkable. I mean, it had Elstra for the quicken if I needed to, and just for the crazy like UR level damage for an MR. And Elsewhere for the resist and just like some great light slash. But honestly, I feel like just like I had Yuna ready, and she just like she carried my high ranking like rank. This like I can't really say that it was because of my skill over just how good it is to have level 120 Yuna in this class match. Um, but yeah, back to the point. Double quicken like uh, Frederica Shell Nivlu was like my hard counter. And I was like, I know this team is going to be like my direct counter, but like, really, how often am I going to run into this team? And it wasn't really that often, or it was not often enough for me to not be able to deal with it. I ran into maybe a couple of those teams that they weren't really ready to pilot it as well. They didn't really have as much experience with it, or they just didn't have the correct, not the correct, but like the ideal um, loadout of turns, and I was able to just kind of overcome them. But
That's like
when
the
with
kindest way I've ever heard anyone say that they might have just been bad, but
well, because you never really know the caliber of
no,
a player just
I know.
by what they're running, right? So
In my brain, I'm thinking like, man,
just say it.
what a nice. I'm like, what a nice way to say
Wow,
that.
nice guy, Daniel Boone. Um, yeah, but I just really I didn't expect to run into them as much as I did, and I guess I didn't really run into them that much. I only ended up having like 7 losses this round this class match. I was gonna say rounds, um, but
Round
like
6.
yeah, four of those losses were in the last 2 days though, and for like kind of BS reasons. I think I really only lost to double quick and like range teams like that like 2 or 3 times. So really can't complain, but yeah, just there's not really much you can do. Like Yuna was always able to go fast enough to like buff with Mashri's Team Art and GTFO, but like the double quick and Frederica, like the Frederica triple turn or whatever, just being able to barrage down Elshra and Elsrel, even if I had the chance to get like a double resist, like missile buff, missile resistance buff, it wasn't enough. One time I tried like rushing them as fast as possible, like we try to recommend trying to be able to do against a quicken team like that, and they kited me just because of the disparity between the agilities. Like sometimes that's not an option. My Elsrel and Elstra were like high 70s, low 80s as far as agility goes. Yuna was like maybe like 92, I think. But you can't stay in affinity range against this kind of like AOE range team. So you have to take that into account as well. So yeah, just got totally owned by that team, and
And then when you do get close, Nibbler's just
so
like, move -1.
so
Run away
frustrating.
3.
Because like so my team was set up to like be a counter to like magic teams. I was expecting to run into a lot of magic teams, maybe not necessarily just light magic, but like Garvel for instance. Um, Halloween Little Leela, and then obviously Yuna and Sakura and stuff. Didn't never really struggled too much with them, and like with Kane having the double resist, like the Pierce resistance up, didn't really struggle with him, especially since I was a light team. Um, yeah, it's really just freaking Frederica every time, you guys. Like pain of my
The
existence.
week 1 unit, man. All
I
these
can't
EX
even.
units make everything irrelevant.
I can't even complain about Ram's stupid face this time, just because like F Frederica, man. I'm used to using her now. Like know your enemy, right? Like I'm familiar with that team. I knew what to expect, and there was just nothing I could do, you guys. So yeah, that was quite frustrating. But um,
You ended up
so
top 20 still, though, right? Or top
uh,
20s, like
just
20 to 30
barely,
range?
yeah. I was like top 20-ish on Wednesday, and then yesterday I had another like 3-2, and ended up at like mid 20s or like almost 30 or something. But I was happy, like you don't really need to care about top 20 when it's really just top 1, top 10, and then top 50. So yeah, can't
There's a
complain.
little bit of you, though. It's like, there's
Yeah,
names you
dude,
gotta beat. Like the other people in the server, you're like, you gotta be ahead of them,
yeah,
right?
because you got that friendly competition, and we're all competing for ranks and stuff, and you never know who you're gonna push out like just barely from like top 100 or top 50 or whatever. So um,
Dream crushing. Yeah, so I ended up at 123. Is I just checked to see where I got shifted to, and that's with 1 day missed. So it was
That sucks. Yeah.
day. Let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Tuesday,
I think it was
Monday.
the Saturday.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was the Saturday. So like day 4 or something. I missed a day. Still got to 123, which isn't awful. But obviously now there's in the back of my brain, I'm like, man, if I could have played that day, I'm probably
Right.
in top 100.
That reminds me of
Looks like I'm at 40 and 40 and 10. So I
took a
had 10
break.
losses. You what?
That reminds me of when I took a break, like November/December. Like yeah, had to jump in like halfway through.
So do we think that they're going to do this again in the future, the 9 day thing? Like, has anyone seen any sort of response from? I know a lot of people put support tickets in. Obviously, the live PvP server was kind of, fussing about like,
WTF, yeah.
what is happening? Like, does anybody know what's going on? What's happening? There's like a fire was going on, and everyone's just running around. Obviously, I enjoy the game, but like, I enjoy understanding what's going to happen and what is happening, and like be able to not plan ahead like in 2 months in advance. I know there's units coming out, but plan ahead like, all right, I saw what's happening for the week, and I should be able to expect like what's going to happen throughout that or throughout that event or something. And as far as I know, no one saw this coming. So I'm really curious to see if they mention it at all. I probably not, but I'd like to see some sort of reasoning or logic,
Yeah.
just so we can know: are we going to expect this in the future? Was this a glitch? And then like, so in my head, at the end of Wednesday, my rank was just above 100 still. So then when the last day started, I'm like, oh my god, I have a chance to hit top 100 because if I go 5-0 today, I couldn't because everybody else also did well in the top 100. But then I thought to myself, I'm like, I almost don't even want to. Like, I didn't do it in the time that I like planned to do it in, like there's like the class match. Like, I almost feel like grimy taking these extra 5 like potential wins or something. Obviously everybody gets to do it, so it's a stupid thought, but like there's that part of my brain that was like, this isn't how this works, kind of.
Yeah, I think it's more important to note that it sucks for having the extra days sucked for people that got pushed out of their ending rank at Wednesday. So like somebody that was like in top 10, I think it was Vinny actually, was like didn't end up in top 10 because of having that extra day. And like RNG, you never know who you're gonna face. And yeah, like I don't know. I feel like I should be mad about it, but like, I mean, how can you be mad about an extra day of class match, right? But yeah, it sucks about the rankings being switched up by having another day.
Also, I guess we should touch on this as well. How do we feel about first place for class match being an auto player? So we do know that the person was playing auto only queues, so they obviously had a team that did very well. Their points were 2240, and I know Rafalos only lost 2 games, right?
I didn't really
I think
pay
in his
attention.
post he
I don't know.
only lost a couple games. Rafalos is at number 2. He is playing again, I guess. He's in the Gaijin Guild. You can look his name. I can't read it, but I believe in his write up here. Let me double check to see how many losses he has, because I think that this may imply that the auto guy, didn't lose a match.
No, I think Rafalos said that he lost one.
He ended up
He lost
losing
at
one,
least
I
one
think.
match. Yeah.
He lost 1 match. Okay.
Like I think it might have been like the last day.
Oh, really?
So
now,
that's why
now who's the most angry, right?
Right?
Good lord. Dex. Oh, okay. Oh, he made a post 22 minutes ago on Reddit sharing the
Nice.
CM team that made it to rank 1 on auto. Okay, so actually let's talk about this real quick. He used, okay, if you guys had a guess what 3 units, what would you guess they were?
Yuna. Yuna, Sakura, and probably, actually, I don't know. Probably Yuna, Sakura, and Halloween Leela.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. So Sakura had Reigns TMR, which is pretty interesting. With Diablos and Solidus, and then the normal, Prunus staff, plus they opted to go with the orb. I always forget the name of this thing. Soul Thanasa.
Yeah.
Then Yuna had again another one of the Prunus staves, the Light Ring and her own TMR, as well as Bahamut. And then Little Leela had, oh, that's interesting, had the plat mace. Alexander Ring, Thancred TMR, Shadowrunner, instead of like Shikuchi or like Magica, or no, she doesn't get Magica, but so level 4 to level 3 in Shadowrunner, which is interesting. I guess it's for the agility to keep up. I don't know. That's an interesting choice. I feel like this map Shikuchi is really valuable because of the really awkward heights. Like my Glaciella would not have been able to do her thing without it. Frederica was amazing with it because she'd get the crystal turn one. Completely changed how I got to play the game. But then Lily had the Moogle Esper, the Holiday Moogle, and the Eldira Holiday card. So
For magic resist.
I would assume that's what it's for, yeah. Let's see. Some messages in here. What's this? Okay, no. I obviously I don't have time to read this whole article, but yeah, that shows the power of the fucking Sakura Lolita. 70 cost, I don't understand.
Obviously, yeah, that team is definitely better on auto when people can't control their threat ranges, and the AI just blindly like runs them into range just because they have a chance to move instead of conserving CT or whatever. Honestly, to answer your question, like how do we feel about
Oh,
auto
real quick,
only players?
44 wins, 1 draw, no losses. How the fuck did you draw on auto? That's
It's
what I
insane.
want to know. Like, what?
Maybe it's Yuna against Yuna, and they both kept procking Aeon or whatever
my
it is.
God.
That's actually probably the only way that can happen.
else? Yeah, it could it be? Does he go on to elaborate on how he got the draw?
I'm
curious to
sure
see.
that seems showcase title reward. I'm aware it's not typos. Blah blah. Answer any questions. Notes all done on auto versus auto only. 44 wins, 1 draw, no losses. Added previous rankings in CM that were all done in manual, in case there are questions specific to manual PvP. So I guess he was 9th, then 6th, 11th, 42, 75, and 1. No comments on the post and no explanation.
Yeah, 22 minutes ago, whatever.
So.
Can I get back to?
Yeah.
So I can't honestly fault the auto players for just being able to, like, why would you rather go against a manual player when you can go against an auto player? I can't fault them for using that, and for being able to take advantage of that new setting, to be able to do better in class match. I can't fault the players. I have to fault the game and by extension the developers, whatever. Really not a fan, but I'm sure everybody knows that's listening that it's ruining the manual PvP, the live PvP side of things, which
the
is why
integrity of results.
Exactly, yeah. And like it, and there's no separate bracket, there's no separate rankings, and that's really all we need to have to retain the, like you said, the integrity of the results of the ranking. So
I'd be fine with the manual split from the competitive arena queue, but
yeah,
it's like having it on, like having the share rewards is so absurd because like turning your team on auto in a manual PvP game mode is fine. That's the option is fine. People at least get to put their matches in. They have a chance. Maybe they'll dip their toe in a manual at some point. But then to just further go on to it and like add the auto versus auto, just I can't believe. Well, I can believe now, but like I can't believe that was actually a thing that got released, and I'm very, very disappointed and very, very angry with it.
Yeah, we have to pretty much turn to community content to like try to get Gumi's attention. Like, hey, this is worth paying more attention to, and like maybe can you throw us a bone here?
Yeah, goes back to not everybody needs everything. Stop begging for making modes that you can't play easier. Like it's so frustrating. Anyway, sorry if you. Sorry, I'll let you continue. But just wanted to.
I had another thought and it was compelling, but I can't remember offhand what it was. I lost it. Luck.
Sure. Sorry. So I was actually thinking about this for a while, and also like why I play the game in general, and like why I like live PvP and so on and so on. And the thing is, like, if there was no auto content whatsoever, I would not be playing this game just because I can't keep up with it. Like, imagine all the grinding that we do. If everything was required to be done on manual, there's just no way I can't do it, right? So I like the game works for me because I can play this game while doing something else. I can be working like 8 hours a day and I'll be playing it by doing something on auto. But when I actually want to play, like if I want to take like an hour or two aside and play live PvP, then it's like something I can do. Like if either of these weren't there, I wouldn't be playing it. if the live PvP option where I can't manually play my battles wasn't there, I would feel like I was playing like a sightseeing game. Like I'm watching my units do anything, but I
Exactly.
can't control it. And to me, that diminishes the point of the game because I don't want to, like, okay, team building is fun and everything, but there's only so much with it. At some point, it's like whoever has the better stats just wins, right? And so, like for example, I shared that I built my team Titus to be able to withstand a double gunner team. Like, you know, Frederica and Nivlu with Shell, they still weren't able to like triple turn my Titus and do anything. I can't pull that off in auto no matter what I do, right? Like auto will not do whatever I needed to do to get that win. So, you know, like I really like that live PvP aspect. I really like that the game gives us that, and so I'm obviously very disappointed that we have to share the queue with these auto only options because, like, to me, I don't understand. Like, it's like this is what we are playing the game for, and you know, there's a lot of interest in it. Maybe not enough interest. Maybe we need to like promote that better or something. I don't know what it is, but like really disappointed with the decision of the game to include that as an auto only option within this. Maybe I don't understand why they don't make a different mode for it or something. You know, like why can't this just be the live, like the players that like the live PvP do it, and then players that don't, you know, there's other stuff that you can do, and maybe there will be other content that's released for that too. So
Just make a competitive arena queue. Like you queue in, like you can watch your guys play on auto, and like you both watch live, but you only get 5 orbs a day. You can't reset it, and like see who actually has like the best auto teams for like on the arena map or something. Like that's all the people want is competitive arena. But like I understand they're different medal rewards, but again, like if I don't play my raids properly, I don't get raid rewards. I accept that because I'm not playing the game mode in which I get the rewards. I don't ask the game to be like, "Oh, give me more medals because I want them and I don't have time to play like the game mode." Like, no, I just accept I can't have everything. But people don't do that for live PvP, and it's just this insane entitlement that, oh my god, it just pisses me off. Like sorry, you didn't earn your Hermes sandals in the first bunch of months because you didn't play your manual PvP. Like you lived and you eventually get some agility TMRs or something. Like there's other options. Like you don't I don't have a weapon for like Lastwell. I don't have a max out Soul of Thamasa yet because I just didn't do my raids. Like, but I don't know, man. This is
I guess
so ridiculous.
I guess I just have to try to place myself in like the developer shoes. And like
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
maybe Gumi has to like march to like Square Enix's tune or something, and like they only have a certain amount of like time or budget or whatever to devote to changing stuff in each mode or whatever, and maybe they're gonna like try to separate like the rank brackets, or who knows, like maybe they hear what's going on, you know, like our concerns, but they just haven't had enough time to take action for it, kind of like the cheaters that we know are cheating, but you know, maybe because of pandemic constraints or, you know, whatever. I don't know, maybe I should try to have more faith in them just trying to needing more time to make some changes.
That's another very glass half full approach to
Yeah, I mean,
not
because
saying.
like what else can we do, you know?
Have you ever seen that Key and Peele skit where one of them's Obama and then the other one's behind him, but it's like the inner voice of Obama? Like
Yeah.
I feel like you're
Anger
being
translator.
Obama right now and I'm the angry translator. Like
Do you remember what his name was?
no, I don't.
Victor.
Oh. No, I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure that's his name. Yeah.
Like yeah, that's how I feel right now. Where you're just like, yeah, maybe it's this. I'm like, bullshit. No, there's no this.
Let me be clear.
I think the people that just want auto only options were just complaining too much, and Gumi just caved into pressure. I think that's just what it is.
The bottom line.
So yeah,
exactly. Oh, I guess one thing to mention too, real quick, because you said it very quickly in passing. I don't think we discussed it on the podcast before, or if we did, we didn't go into detail about it. You say there was confirmed cheater in top 10. The reason we say this is because it was last class match, right? When we got
At least last class
video.
match. I think it's been a couple actually.
It's probably been a couple, but last class match, someone was caught. It was one of my opponents on stream. I think someone else also fought them on streamer in some sort of
Iron
recorded
Mike.
video. Oh, is that who it was? Iron Mike. And this player only had a level 1 Titus, like Tyyytas, like the Dark Paladin
Actually,
unit.
Titus.
Titus, whatever. And they obviously just got destroyed. Like, I just ran my units over. They never took a turn and just like auto attacked them and they died. But their point changes because people had caught on to this either in previous class matches or the beginning of this class match, and they started watching their point totals every day. The person never lost their streak through multiple days, and in the middle of the like days where they're getting perfect points, which is 200, right? So it's 40 with a full streak, 5 games a day, so you get 200 points. It was plus 200 just every day. And one of those days was the day where I beat them on stream. I got a win for it and continued my win streak, and that everything was fine. They also got a win, and their streak never ended. And this was consistent across not only last class match, but now this class match as well. The same thing was happening. So when we say there's a confirmed cheater, there is, and there's videos for it. I don't have the name because the name changes every day. But
the only way we can't confirm it is because we don't know how they're
tracking
doing it.
Right, but the fact that they are like,
But we can confirm it because of the results, not because of the approach.
Yeah. So it's confirmed. There's a whole video done about it. I think the video might still be private on YouTube. I kind of wish the person I know who has it would make it public. I don't know if maybe they have, and I haven't been around to see it since I've been so busy lately. But
I've definitely been sharing it.
You have? Okay. So if somebody wants it, we can ask about sharing it maybe, but I don't want to share without the person's permission, even though I think it should be something that's public. Because this is the kind of thing where it's not a witch hunt. Like, there's evidence and it's proven. There's no like ifs, ands, or buts about it, and I want something done. So I have no problems spreading stuff, but I just don't have the resource. But yep. So anybody wants to ask questions about it, I know on the stream we mentioned it a couple times. We kept getting questions and elaborating. That's the spiel. Moving on. I guess let's see. We've talked about actually any thoughts about CM6 for the rest of or for like the rest of the period, or any other wrap up thoughts about that?
Would have been nice to have it last week or like the week before. We already covered that.
Of course, yeah, for sure.
Or even like this week, like the coming week, just not the week that everything.
I get to use Oron. It would have been so fun,
right? I think that my last remark about Class Match 6 is that it's just been really cool to spectate matches.
Mm-hmm.
And with the spectate feature, we've been hyping it up since before the anniversary stream. I was just actually rewatching our last episode like the week before the anniversary, and we were like, yeah, we think it's coming this week. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a game changer. And lo and behold, it is. Like, we're already seeing content creators, like, I mean, myself included, but others like Howls, like utilizing the spectate feature to create content around like PvP matches, whether auto or manual, depending on their settings or whatever. So that has been a really cool thing to take part of this class match, and I'm looking forward to as a fellow streamer and content creator and stuff, like being able to incorporate that into my schedule moving forward for every class match. Like, not just being able to participate in my own in whatever window I have the time to, but being able to spectate and like other people's matches and have that much more time on stream to devote to shoutcast and that kind of thing is a really big deal to me.
Yeah, it's nice real estate for as a content creator too. Like, it's so like, it's not low effort because you have to put thought into what you're saying about the games and commentating, but it's at the same time it's infinite content. You can just find more people to play. You can get viewers to battle and stuff. I have a lot of ideas for doing sort of community stream based. I don't know about tournaments necessarily, but like feature matches and like this person against this person. Like, maybe take people from chat and like have people roll or something to match up. Also, I don't know if this video will be edited and out in time for this message to be relevant, but tomorrow, because the stream's starting so early.
Probably not, yeah.
Longtime Twitch is hosting a 1-day tournament, so I think it's gonna be like 4 rounds, Swiss, and then cut to top like 4 or something like that. Tournament, streamed on his straight, like, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, and then whatever cut done on his Twitch. I guess I can put the link down below, Twitch/longtime Twitch. It's going to be no Quicken, no Keenblade, no Ildira LB. They're all banned from use. Obviously, you can use the units or equip the TMR.
Items,
but yeah. Should be interesting. I'll be curious to see if Yuna kind of continues to do her thing, or if people find other creative things to do without her. I fear that she's going to, because you said your main counter was double quick and Frederica. There's no quick in here, so we'll see what happens. But
It's not just that. It's actually this was from one of his previous tournaments, but like if you win with your team, you have to use another team.
I forgot about that. Yeah. So actually, that's a good point. So yeah, people can't just, they can ride Yuna for one like game, like ride that
One battle,
wave
yeah.
of power, but they can't do it both games. So see what people pull out after that. Also, I think he's instituting a rule now where when you join the match, if you see the like attack and magic values change, that's like you can't do that. So you can't change like vision cards and stuff after seeing their front unit or their damage values. So I'll be curious to see how well that gets policed, or if anybody calls anybody else out on it, or how that works. Because obviously that's something I think you could do in like a feature match, which he's gonna have every round. He's gonna pick one of the matchups that he'll spectate and commentate over.
Mhm.
Are you commentating tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, I was waiting for you to mention it, but I was like, I couldn't remember if that was for. I know you also commentated on like a previous video on somebody's content, right? Recently.
Yeah, yeah. So Orange's and Merlot's
Yeah,
Olympic Cup tournament, the auto PvP one.
yeah. So you're finally, yeah, it's awesome to see you doing your thing that you've been saying since like the second
Since,
month. Like you want
since
to be like
June,
the
yeah,
commentator guy.
yeah.
That's awesome. But
It's like, yeah, I have to take a step back and not be able to participate, but honestly, it's more fulfilling to me to be able to um, just like this whole time having my stream be a platform for people to get better. It's more fulfilling for me to help people get better rather than just show people how good I am, you know. And that's kind of why we're doing this, right?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming I think we're pretty good.
Yeah, we're all right. We do good
All
sometimes.
right, yeah. So let's talk about some of the other,
Fucking
yeah.
turn
Wait,
timer.
yeah. Oh god, your worst enemy. So let's talk about some of the other EX stuff. I guess we can talk about Oron real quick, since that just kind of ties a
Well,
little bow
actually,
on
do
the.
you mind if I talk a bit more about Titus's card?
Sure,
Uh,
yeah.
because like we were talking about like light teams being so good, and and how good, like you can build that out with like Bahamut and Yuna and so on and so on. I think water teams can also has the potential to be very, very good, because of the like the secondary effect on a lot of the water cards. So for example, if you the card that came out has a secondary effect of adding plus critical 13 to everybody in a water party, right? And then if you put that along with Ildira's card, which gives you plus 35% dexterity to everybody in the party, and then put Snowy Fields, which gives plus 25 crit damage to everybody in the party, everyone is going to be doing
Water
a lot of crit
units.
damage. Yes.
Wait, dashing over snowy field is a water bonus.
Yes.
So interesting. Okay.
Glacial,
Yeah.
right?
That's Glaciella. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fair.
So again, and that dashing over snowy fields gives you 35% pierce attack to like pierce units like Glaciella. So you can put Glaciella, Titus, and Ildira and use those three cards, and you have, first of all, you have like AoE resist. So light teams have single target resist, you get instead AoE resist, and then you have everybody doing a lot of crit damage, everybody having a lot of accuracy. I think that team could stand up to a water team, and not a water team, a light team. I think like the Glaciala's biggest weakness in auto is that she just runs forward and like dies basically. So maybe this isn't as good for auto battle, but I think for manual PvP, I think this is a pretty strong team, especially with like the the featured item right now, which gives you plus 15 critical damage as well. So put that on somebody, and then you get plus 20. So that's plus 40 critical damage, right? And everybody having high crit, and probably Titus always critting anyway. So the combination of all that, I think that's a pretty good team. Like I think people are not like, they're like, oh yeah, like we can't use, there isn't too many units with like slash attack to make use of that card. Well, there are two units that have slash subjobs, Ildira and Winter Victora. Yeah, Winter Victora. They both have slash subjobs, right? Which will
Fair,
that
yeah.
modifier effect. And even if you remove that, like that critical bonus anyway, if you put the, you make use of that crit with the dex, the higher dex and the critical damage, I think that'll just be a boost for the whole team anyway. So I think you can build out the card that way to make use of it. And I think water teams could stand up to light teams. Not in, probably not in manual PvP for the reason I shared, but at least in
I mean,
Like,
not for live,
sorry,
or not for
not for
auto,
live,
auto.
not for auto PvP, but for manual PvP. I think they would. I think that's a pretty good matchup that way.
Yeah, I think also if people don't have like one of those cards, slotting Siren in there, which I'm sure a lot of people have at this point. You either started with it when you started the game in the beginning, or I mean, there have been plenty of opportunities to pull it since then. I used that when I was doing my I was doing some PvP thing with Tidus and Winter Victora, and then I think Ildira. I think I was basically that, or not Tidus, sorry, Glaciella. And like that was impressive amounts of damage. Wait, Daniel, what?
I just wanted to note that like just because you may have had it this whole time doesn't mean you actually have it maxed and like ready. Like, so I have almost every single vision
Do you,
card
do you know how
maxed,
many people complain about
but
pulling dupes of it though? I feel like
yeah,
the collective number
you
of
still
people I've seen
have to.
bitch about pulling dupes of it, everyone's got it maxed.
Yeah.
I just assume.
No, well, you have to be able to spend the eggs to max it, and the gil. You could have the shards for it, sure,
We just had the
but
anniversary. Everyone's got all that.
yeah, so especially with the tokens and like the vision card enhancements and stuff, that's been really nice. Like March has been my jam for vision card increases. That's why like I think I only have like 3 vision cards I don't have maxed, and those are like Death Machine, which I don't have, and like whatever, like Crystal Chronicles 1, and these limited vision cards that I don't have access to anymore.
The
But
Mobius one.
yeah, Mobius is what I was trying to think of.
You have all the non-limited ones maxed.
Yeah. Just because of the tokens on top of like all the eggs and stuff. So, yeah, it's good stuff for a PvPer at least.
All of the options. That's interesting. So
yeah, I mean, sorry.
No, you're good.
I've been using like my Cheese Blade water team since like December, and like I was running Sirens, the vision cards, Siren vision card, and it wasn't even max spec then. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's like don't feel bad if you don't have like max vision cards, if it works for your team, especially with the recent elemental enhancements.
Do you think the like mono water cheese blade team with Tidus is just gonna be insane?
Well, Tidus can't equip it, thankfully.
Right, but Glaciella can.
Well, yes.
I think
he goes on the same team, right? Like he gets the crazy damage buff, like you said. He can like buff up really high for his attack.
Let's not give people ideas.
It has the potential to. It can't be like the max agility team, so it still can be countered by that and other things. But I mean, yeah, of course it's going to be insane. It's level 120 Tidus, Glaciella, and
what part can they
Elvira.
do?
Glaciella, I can't remember what her max agility is. But
no, not Glaciella. I'm saying what can't they do? Like, why can't they have max agility?
Because Stern has higher.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like they couldn't use a agility card. Oh,
No,
sorry,
yeah.
never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Ildira just holds it. You just have like Black Rose Helena, Tidus gets his card, and Glaciella's Cactuar. Yeah. That seems a little filthy. How much AoE does Tidus have though? Does he have like a respectable amount of AoE where he could actually like?
Yeah, he has well, no, he has Taunting Blade, so that might be the factor. Like that's only AoE +1, not AoE +2. So
okay, actually, that is his only AoE on sub Paladin, isn't it?
He just throws like shots
a water
at people.
ball.
The balls, yeah. I want to say throws balls at people because I know our audience and I know myself.
I actually haven't watched his animations yet. I've actually meant to take some of the units I've been like gaining recently and just turn animations back on and kind of like, oh, this is what they actually do, because I never get to see this. Enjoy my units that I've been building for so long.
Yeah.
So Oron is something I'm super excited about.
Let's hear it.
This is the first unit of the EXs so far where I 120'd him on day one. I had the most absurd step up experience of my life getting him. So I used all the medals I had that were for like Yuna and Tidus, and I just instant 120'd him. Then that night, I used him on stream after my class matches, like for like 2 matches, just to like kind of play around with him. He only had CCC equipment proficiency at level 120. But I had to skip with what?
Work with what you've got, right?
Yeah, and he had a golden blade that he was using because I don't have his weapon finished yet. So like, there's much more room for improvement here.
Tell us about your Dragon Fangs.
Yeah, right. So
you had like awesome AoE damage.
Wait, what's that?
Tell us you've had some awesome Dragon Fangs like AoE damage.
No, I actually was punching people with Pugilist.
Why? I
Like,
cannot be disappointed.
it was like I wanted to do his like slash moves, but a lot of his stuff is a straight line, and like I'm not used to how to like set that up yet because they're like range 2 or 3 or something, or like it wouldn't be like more damage, and I could just do because he has Pugilistic Master, he gets 40 strike attack. So it's just like 40 strike attack plus the defense pen, and then like, oh, by the way, my shifting strike is killing people for like 4,000 something damage. Like, it was really silly. And then I had Gilgamesh and Rosa as the other 2 units. So I could do the slash down with Gilgamesh or the ice down with Rosa, and then follow up with Oron. And Oron's just walking forward with like, I used his HP buff, the Iron Body stance. It was giving him like 700 HP, so he hit over, I think it was, he was approaching 7,000 health. And it was just this monstrous bruiser walking through, and then like Rose is just like, throw out a heal. Such a silly unit. And that other buff he has, the defense pen plus crit rate plus accuracy, is amazing. I think there was one unit, they weren't like max evade, but they had some evade, and that just, it helped a lot.
What's your faith at with him? Have you been able to use his level 25 like or job 25 crouching dragon paralysis yet?
So no, normally I didn't use that move yet. I honestly just used mostly punching because it's just because I need a just like shifting strike.
I can't have a problem with that. Like punching.
And I quickened him obviously with Gilgamesh, so it'd be like, buff, move up, Falcon punch somebody. I think I was probably getting a little too cute with it, but
Yes.
but yeah, no, I mean, looking at the modifiers, like the shifting strike's only a 121 mod, he's dealing 4,000 damage. Once I have like an actual bonus on his weapon for like the 30 ice and the 15 slash, yeah, the 200 mod on Crouching Dragon is gonna be nutty. But yeah, because Mono Ice is so powerful with the vision card effects, like I had Fenrir that gave me the 50% attack, I had Odin with the 25 accuracy, and then I think the third one I still had like Black Rose Helena or something on Rosa just to have the agility across the team.
Yeah.
And she gets some magic and stuff, but it was a very, very solid team. And like obviously it was very thrown together, so there's a lot of room for improvement too, which is cool. The only thing I don't like, well, not the only thing, but one thing I don't like about him is his counters. They're all the like range 1, have to be adjacent, sort of things. Yeah, he gets his like increased chance with counter to like a 50%, or the flurry counter. Actually, he has 2 upgraded passives, which is interesting. They're still not very impactful very often. His passives feel amazing though, like the agility bonus on 1 plus the I mean, you can go with the accuracy or defense pen, but I think I went. Did I do Warrior Spirit for the HP and attack? Maybe I should be going One-Eyed Swordsman for the defense penetration. Whoops. But anyway, yeah, I think he's gonna be a great unit. I think Mono Ice teams with him are gonna be terrifying. I don't know. He does have something interesting. He has base 10 resist for magic attack, so he might actually be able to, like with the Fenrir that you already want on the team anyway. That's 30%. You could maybe play him with a Spellblade like a Fryevia even or something that can give him additional magic resist. He might actually be able to take on unit teams. So I'll be exploring a lot with that, I think, in the coming weeks. Sorry, I just like rambled forever, but I'm really excited about him. Do you guys have any thoughts on him yet? I don't know who else pulled him, if anybody.
I didn't pull him.
I have him, yeah. I think he's like 105 or something right now. I plan on 120ing all 3 units, so I got lucky. Well, I'm not gonna say I got lucky. I spent like 58k getting Orin, so definitely not as lucky of a streamer luck as I usually get. But I think my comment on him is kind of more of an unorthodox approach, and I think it's more because of a recent update that I want to mention, and it's the one where like even if evade units like dodge and attack, like the status effect still gets applied. I don't think it's for everything. It's not for
Yeah.
everything because like it's not for like freaking I think it's the spell spread that doesn't apply it, and so I have to assume that there's other effects that don't apply even if it gets dodged. But I'm pretty sure his job level 25 like paralysis is still going to be able to land. It's only the base 25%, so you can't expect it to always land. But just having those kind of tools in your kits to be able to use as like to have an option open for say if you run into a full evade team I think that just adds to the utility of the unit, especially for like an all ice team that Orin would be on. So because if you can paralyze like an evade unit, like you can at least shut them down and try to take care of like the rest of the team if possible.
So was that
Real quick, the thing I forgot, I actually had Exorcist on him. Was the third card? That's what it
Oh,
was.
nice for the evade down. Nice.
Yeah, so I had Exorcist on him, and then I had Fenrir and Odin as the other two on the other two. Rosa had Odin, so she had some extra man eater and attack and stuff, and then Gilgamesh had the Fenrir.
so? Sorry, is that update already applied? Like, do the status effects go through? They do. Okay, all right.
That's
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
that was in the notices, or
Yeah, it was either this past week or the start of the anniversary. I can't remember the
That's
timing.
cool.
Things have just been kind of so much all at once, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
So
like
if it
there's
takes, if it teams take another hit, I guess, right?
Yeah, and
Basically.
I'm glad that you mentioned the Exorcist card because that's another option you can have against an evasion team because people don't really like. I don't know that if they really take into account um, how effective triple trick I think is the ability, the vision card ability, how effective it can be against evasion teams because we only think of like the three hit attack, but it's evasion down as well. So like if you're struggling. I don't know if you're struggling. If you're building like accuracy, say on a unit that can kind of build it like Orin with like his passives and like an active ability that increases accuracy. Putting the vision card on him, which had like a rerun and more people have access to it. That's like it's kind of like an alternative way of building accuracy by lowering evasion. So he can use triple trick, right? That's why you had it on him.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that they updated that so that it works for Orin because you can't always expect the conditions to use
To be
like
updated, yeah.
Right,
TMRs
like
or
it's a
vision
great
cards to be
sword
updated.
user, but it doesn't say great sword user. It
Yeah,
has the jobs listed. So
yeah.
yeah, I definitely had to check that before going into a match. But I think my least favorite thing about Oron, though, by the way, is his limit burst. Really cool AOE, really cool damage, cool effect. The defense pen, a lot of AP, 58.
Non-elemental.
But that he's an ice unit with a fire animation that deals non-elemental damage. Like the fuck. It's like
I was trying not to make fun of it, but I was like, I
it's
was literally
so
expecting sharks to like
stupid. I'm so
spit
angry about
tornado.
it. It just makes no sense. Like it would make almost less sense if it was like an ice tornado. Like just pick a different move. Like I don't know, he could have something else. Why does that have to be a tornado that's like
Yeah,
fire and no?
I don't. Yeah, why is that associated with Orin?
It's a wind name. So wind name, fire animation. Oh, so dumb. The things I care about.
And
Yeah,
like,
so I
so
I
he
didn't
was,
play Final Fantasy X, so I was wondering with that animation. I was like, what's going on here? Like, I was like, is that a move that he used in the game? I have no
Yeah, I
idea.
believe it is, but I don't remember what it was.
it's not just that, but like he has the tornado, the name for the LB. So like further down the line, if we see like Barbarisia or whatever, like is she gonna have like a tornado LB or something like she had in
Yo, if
Brave
we get
Exvius?
Barbarisha and the Archfiends as playable units,
Be sweet.
whoo,
I mean,
whoo.
I don't know. I don't know if I really like stay away from the integrity of my story kind of thing. But like, how can you like not want these Final Fantasy units, right?
Yeah, I mean, I for the trading card game, Archfiends is a pet deck that I always have built like every
Oh, nice.
set and this most recent set coming out soon has additional Archfiend support. So there's gonna be a new Kanyazo, a new Barbarisha, a new Rubricante, a new Scarmiglione, and they've always had really interesting and cool effects. And I'm really curious to see what we can do with the new ones. But
Uh,
there's also a Golbez that like for each Archfiend you have like that's dead, he costs less, so you can play him for free like late
oh, I
game.
remember you talking about
Yeah,
that.
it's just such a cool engine.
I have a question for you though.
Sure.
As an Auron user, like you were one of the first to get into 120 that I saw. Um, how do you feel about the Trials of Reckoning running concurrently with his weapon stage?
Brutal drop's pretty generous, so it's really not that big a deal. But
Yeah.
also we have 2 weeks for the box event, which is nice. I haven't actually started it, so I got to get on that. Tomorrow I'll farm through all of them and start autoing and stockpiling my tickets. But yeah, I guess I'm indifferent. I feel like at this point I'm so used to having multiple things that I'm focused on. Like Saturdays, I almost always want to be farming the pink orbs, but sometimes I can't. Right now with the book farms, like you can farm whatever we want right now, and they're all like crazy drop rates. Then there's like the
Yeah.
story drop rates. There's too much right now. Like if
So much.
I think
Mhm.
I'm almost less concerned with that just because it is a brutal farm and the drops aren't awful, and more that like I can't be just spamming books and eggs and stuff right now. With the box event, other things that kind of have to happen, quote unquote. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because we're definitely gonna see a lot of people, at least tomorrow being Saturday, farming the red stage for like
I'm
not
gonna
just
have
like
to.
not
Yeah.
just the mats, but not, I mean not just the normal mats, but not like the stage 6, like the
Yeah, the
tablets.
branded
People are
tablets.
so low on tablets, you guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna. I feel like maybe all throughout April, at least, we're gonna see like a ton of participation in those stages for the double drops on Saturday, which is gonna be. It's gonna impact live PvP because of seeing more and more like X job units being maxed.
Yeah, and this whole week I've been farming like almost 500 of every red Elchrist as well, just kind of like in prep for
Yeah,
like when I have any extra somebody. I've been sick like the day of maxing Oron. Thank God it was ice and water day, but for like when I got her up to where she was 99 and like ready to go to her EX job, I did it, and then I had no light Elchrist. I was like,
yep,
oh, because
yeah,
I had just done her jobs that I had it all pre farmed out, and I forgot I needed more for EXs. So I was like, oh man, come on. And then I had to wait like extra days or whatever to get her to a certain point. And like,
yeah.
I think
I
for Titus, it was already past the day. So I had to wait
yeah,
until like yesterday or 2 days ago to like, so he's been stuck at like 12 for a
same.
while. It's
Yeah, Titus has
like,
been.
ugh.
That's I had to delay on Titus as well because of that. But shoot, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Sidetracked.
Happens to all of us. Actually, I guess Locke actually doesn't typically forget what he's going to say, but you and I always do. Well, I guess I me way more, but
Are we gonna say something like?
Not right now.
No. Oh shoot, I'm trying
Like,
to think.
because I
Like
don't,
I just had it.
I don't have much experience with Aron. Like I don't have him, and I haven't really fought him anywhere. So I don't even know what most of his skills do. So I don't have
yeah,
anything to say about it.
he's got like a barrier break. He's got like some debuff,
I know
like
he has
attack and
guaranteed
magic
hits.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed hit. I think it's a double hit too. Might be the same ability.
Okay.
Um,
So it's good
but
for
yeah,
taking
it's
down
just
Blastwall.
yeah, but it's just very bizarre because a lot of his stuff is that like line, almost like a dragoon or not a dragoon, like cane or something.
Like a
Maybe.
piercing, like a
Yeah,
line, right? Like a lancer
right,
hit.
right.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hit them all. It just hits one. It's just you can
Oh,
only aim it in line.
okay, weird.
So
Man, you
it's
guys.
very bizarre.
Okay, you guys. So what I was gonna say is like gone are the days where like we can farm Alchrist up to like 210, right? 210 was like the previous milestone to be able to
Mhm.
max from 12 to job 15, right? Now it's 430 is the point to get to because it takes 220 Alchrists to get from 15 to 25. So like
It's a lot. Yeah.
you have to keep that in mind, like you have to like if you're saving for somebody, maybe it'll take you like more than 1 week or just like that much more, like twice as much energy or whatever to get to 430 instead of 210 to be able to like really be comfortable with having enough Alcrest to max a unit.
Skip tickets are your friend, though. They just gave us a
That's
ton of
true.
event skip tickets, and
Yeah.
I have definitely used
Used a
most of
lot of
them.
them. Yeah.
Today,
I,
tonight I'll be doing it on light, a lot on light.
it's crazy. I've been generous with my use of skip tickets and I'm still like above 3,000. It's like
Event skip tickets?
no.
Oh,
Just
I'm talking about
regular.
event ones. Oh, yeah, my story
Yeah.
ones are like 2.5k.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I keep using them and it's like I keep getting back up above 3,000. It's like where are these coming from, man?
the
Like
They're
daily
giving a lot.
vis.
thank you, Hiroki.
Yeah.
It's the daily vis stuff too, right? So
Yeah, that too.
the 2 packs that are
Logins and
running
stuff.
concurrently. Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts you guys want to touch on this week? I know we could go on for a long time, but maybe we want to save some content for next week too. To talk
I have
about.
one more thing,
Okay.
but it maybe would be more relevant next week when I have her maxed. Ziza.
Yes.
Ziza and Eileen were the most recent wave of X jobs unlocked, and I'm really impressed with Ziza's upgrades. Not so much with like her being more tanky. Like everybody gets like more base HP added to their pool and stuff. So that's really cool. But I'm super impressed with her damage increase, not just because of like her job level 25 ability that lowers units attack res, but like the fact that she has defense penetration on her strike mastery, as well as like light eater on her pummel. Um,
Wait, her strike
Suddenly,
mastery passive gives defense pen now?
defense pen 40. It's like a
Ooh.
tune-up now, and it's like
Spice.
suddenly my girl is like more relevant. um, and yeah, it's just really cool. I was just watching a video of Cabbage running her in like low level arena, and just seeing her use her debilitating fist ability. That's the job level 20, job 25 ability. Just doing like 9k damage on like Yuna, and just like one shotting even warriors like well, warrior of light units. It's just like, oh my god, this is it's my birthday. So I don't have her fully maxed yet. I think I'm waiting for Saturday, just like everybody else, to get all these branded tablets up. But I already have all 400 like shards, unit shards. Sorry, mind spheres, ready for her to go to 120. And you guys, I'm so looking forward to um, including her in like a PvP strike team, like Raldor, Winter Venera, Ziza. Ziza on healing duty, and then also like imperiling and stuff. Like it's gonna be a good time.
Hey, maybe you can
For,
add Mariluke to that in the future too. I sent you
'cause,
that
like,
ability.
yeah, exactly. So, like, but like, you can put Shiva on her, and she can have a respectable chakra, like we've talked about, like way in the past. And just to be able to do damage, like at the same time, like, whoo, baby, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, on that team too specifically, I mean, you could just go like Raldor LB into debilitating fist and like cool,
Exactly,
like
man.
you're
Yeah,
dead. Like there's not a
GG.
whole lot living that. Yeah, no, it seems pretty sweet. I didn't look into her in super detail until the other day when someone mentioned that video, and I looked into debilitating fist, and it's a sweet ability. It's range 3 or 4. I think it's 3, right?
I think it's 3.
3, yeah. But like
If it
having
was
like
4,
oh, this, yeah, right. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. It's
it's
awesome.
not just for PvP, but like in PvE, you can bring her in raids. She's not just a steal time unit anymore, guys. Like she
Now
can help like lower the resistance of the boss.
I'm a little disappointed though. Zazan came out with those two in JP, and he didn't come out for us yet. So
Oh no.
I'm a little disappointed there. I was hoping for the Zazan EX. But oh well, we'll have to wait a little longer. Maybe they'll be doing like, some kind of weird thing where like you are Zazan's coming soon, and also here's regular
Something like that,
Zazan
yeah.
EX at the same time. Yeah, we'll see. But any other thoughts you guys want to touch on before we wrap up for this week? Again, like I said, we could go on for hours, but
Let me see what we're expecting for X jobs for next week. I think so. JP's third wave was like the winter units, so we don't know if we're going to get the winter units like X jobs that soon. Like for them, it was like December. So who knows if like whoever's listening, like if you're saving for winter unit like X jobs,
please no. Please no.
yeah, we'll see.
Please no.
Yeah, that'll definitely
Please.
affect the meta, you guys. I don't know if they're gonna come out all at once, but Winter Ramada is probably at the bottom of that list. But like Mashari, Venera, Victoria, like they can all benefit from their X jobs. So I'm wondering, like, are we gonna see them next week, or are they gonna be pushed back to like maybe a more relevant time? So however it goes, it's gonna affect the meta once they arrive.
Who's after that though?
Fourth wave was like Mediana, and then like O and Phoebe, and then like Omega came out. So it was like Omega and
Sir O
Dom.
is kind of exciting. I
Yeah,
think you could do a really cool Rob, Sir O, and something else like Samurai Evasion Team. I guess Lastwell
yeah,
if you really want to go the full Samurai route. But
yeah. Rob's
if
Seymour
you
and
have
O.
two, if for some reason you have two Asa feuds built, which
Right.
I'm assuming most people don't, so maybe not. But do you really?
It's gonna be a good time.
That's awesome.
Seymour O.
Oh yeah,
Rob.
with Seymour. Oh my god! But like, O gets the card too. So, do you have the card maxed?
I think so. Yeah.
Or you could max it probably
So
with medals, right?
yeah, I was probably gonna wait for medals. I think that's one of the MR ones I'm still waiting on maxing.
Okay. And I think they I saw the Durando card was updated, so I think the Seymour card came out before that one, right? Or was it after? I forget which one. I forget the release order of those. Anyway, gonna be cool. You can do your samurai evasion teams, but in general, Sir O and Rob are both really high on the evasion chart, even in like JP still. So be cool to see. All right, we have been Let's Talk Tactics. I was your host, Zach Burrell.
I was Dan Boone.
And I'm Luck.
And we will see you next time.